but not least, let me just list the last one.
Press F5.
Okay, let me just go to the next one. The last but not least service is the restoration. And what restoration services provide, they do all the work for you. And what it means that experienced professionals, not you, do the work to clear your name. These services can save hundreds, possibly thousands of hours of work doing it yourself. So restoration services provide incredibly support, but they do not include monitoring services or legal help, particularly 24 hours legal access in the event you have been arrested. So with that basically concludes my short presentation. If there are any questions, I have a minute or two to answer any question that you may have. Yes, Scott.
What can you said you covered those 3 different areas. What can you expect to pay? And I know that's kind of like a weird question for those 3 different areas.
It depends. The services are out there from a few dollars to maybe $30, $40. Depends on the company, depends on the service.
You mean per month?
Per month, yes. Just.
What is a LifeLock? That's the only one I really know of. You know, you see advertisements for.
That's actually from the movie, right?
What's that?
Is that the one?
No.
That's a company that
LifeLock is one of the solutions that are out there, and they're the one who probably advertise the most on television. But it's pretty funny because if you Google LifeLock, you'll find that the founder of LifeLock was arrested because he started LifeLock stealing his father's identity. One thing. The second thing, what they were known for, is that the president of the company put his social on buses and trucks saying, "This is my social, I'm not afraid, I have LifeLock." He became a victim multiple times because all what they do is they renew. So you can go to the credit bureaus and put a lock for 90 days. So nobody can access the records. And what they do really is renew that 90 days lock, which you could do manually yourself for free. They don't help you if you become a medical. They only use with the credit bureau, and credit bureau is mainly financial. All the rest is nothing. And he became a victim himself, so imagine, the animals.
So if your credit or your identity profile gets screwed up, you got to get it all fixed up. I've heard people say it costs like $50,000 to $75,000 to restore.
It can cost you a lot of money if you go to attorneys, if you go to companies that do with that. It can be thousands of dollars, unless you have something that you pay a monthly fee. If you have one of the services that provide a monthly fee, then it could be much less. But if you go out there and try to deal with it yourself, it could be thousands of dollars. Yes?
After a person's tax is done and cleaned up, what does it look like after it's cleaned up? Do you have any credit? Do you have anything? Or you still have to get more?
Can you repeat the question?
What's your credit look like after it's been cleaned up?
Exactly what it was before somebody did anything to you. So restoration basically restore your identity to what it was before. So if you had 500 before, it will go back to 500. If you had 800 before, it goes to 800. But whatever you had before the crime occurred.
How come they can't make the payments and improve my credit?
Exactly. It's a new business.
Does the restoration companies also monitor?
No, that's what I showed here. So the 4 different solutions are monitoring, reimbursement, resolution, and restoration. If you go only to restoration, they only do that. If you go only to resolution, you get an 800 India number and somebody in India is reading you the guide, the FTC guide. You go to monitoring, it just alerts you that your nightmare begins. And if it's reimbursement, it's basically insurance.
Are there any companies that do all that?
There are solutions that are doing everything. Yes, John.
You
You were saying that somebody went to the post office, changed their address, and that's why they weren't getting the bills and stuff. Is there another form? Because I mean, I would notice if I didn't get my 500 pieces of junk mail a day. That would kind of be a clue something's wrong, and I would.
Something's wrong or something's right?
Something's wrong because I'm not having my fireplace.
No, just to speak to that, when I've changed my address through one form at the post office, I get a note from the post office, a postcard from the post office saying, if you changed your address, then you don't have to do anything, but we're just letting you know that your address has been changed. So I could go down there and I should be able to catch it, but it looks like junk mail. And so
Exactly.
a lot of people wouldn't look at it and read it.
Exactly. So not everybody's paying attention to what they get. I mean, there are people, and I meet with business owners that they have a stack of documents in their office they don't even open up. We see that. So last question.
Yeah. Also, restoration is one thing, but also you need to make it so that it cannot be done again, right? So
There is no way.
So if the Social Security you can't change. Once it's compromised,
Exactly.
you can restore it, but you can't really.
That's why this woman in Chicago ended up with 37 people using her social. Good luck getting a new social. So if somebody's already selling it, and by the way, you can go on the internet or downtown San Francisco and buy everything from a social security to a credit card to a driver license to a medical card, from a few dollars to a few $100s. Here, right in your backyard. So those things, that's why I said there is no really way to prevent it. The only question is, how does your life look like after something happened to you? And there are people today in jail that could not prove that it wasn't them who committed that crime. So if you don't have the means to do that, unfortunately, there are many situations like that.
There is also a story that just recently was in the newspaper that inmates, prisoners, were actually collecting people's tax returns, tax refunds. Yeah, and then when the real person wanted to do it, they said, sorry, you already got your refund for the year.
Yeah, IRS fraud, identity theft was this year the largest than ever. If you Google that online, you'll see a lot of information about that. And also another thing which is on the rise is a minor's identity theft. Because if you have a child at the age of 3 and somebody got hold on their social, as a parent, you may not know it until they become 18. And then maybe they want to get a driver license or a credit card and they say, sorry, credit card already messed up. So those are the things which are on the rise today. The same way as, dead people are getting tax return as well. And voting too. Wonderful. So thank you very much. This was my part. What I'd like now is to invite Marilyn to talk about the 9 steps to success. Help me welcome Marilyn Abigail.
Thank you, Avi. That was very